The British royal family is worth $28 billion. The Saudi royal family? $1.4 trillion. But there's one family you've probably never heard of that's worth more than every single royal house on Earth combined. We're talking $9 trillion. That's more money than the entire GDP of Germany. But the truth behind how they built this fortune will shock you. Today, I'm revealing 3 secrets about the Rothschild family that they never wanted you to know. In 1744, a man named Mayer Amschel Rothschild was born in Frankfurt, Germany. He wasn't born into royalty. He wasn't born into wealth. He was born in a cramped Jewish ghetto where opportunities were almost non-existent. But what this man created would change the financial world forever. By the time he died in 1812, he had built a banking empire that spanned 5 countries. Here's what makes this even crazier. His 5 sons each controlled a different major European city. London, Paris, Vienna, Naples, Frankfurt. They created the world's first international banking system. But this isn't just ancient history. Right now, in 2025, the Rothschild family still controls over 300 companies worldwide. They own vineyards that produce some of the world's most expensive wines. They control billions in real estate, and they're sitting on investments that most people will never even know exist. Now here's where things get really interesting. The Rothschilds made their first fortune in the most brilliant way possible. They beat everyone else to the news. In 1815, Europe was at war. Napoleon Bonaparte was facing off against Britain at the Battle of Waterloo. Everyone in London was desperately waiting to hear who won. If Napoleon won, British stocks would crash. If Britain won, they'd skyrocket. The Rothschild family had something nobody else had: the fastest communication network in Europe. They used carrier pigeons and a chain of messengers. Nathan Rothschild, who controlled the London branch, received news of Napoleon's defeat a full 24 hours before anyone else in Britain. But here's the genius part. Instead of immediately buying stocks, he started selling. Everyone saw the Rothschilds selling and panicked. They thought Britain had lost. Stock prices collapsed. Then, when prices hit rock bottom, Rothschild bought everything. Within hours, news of Britain's victory arrived. Stock prices exploded. In a single day, Nathan Rothschild multiplied his fortune and gained control over a huge portion of Britain's economy. That's like knowing tomorrow's lottery numbers today. This single move gave them so much power that they literally loaned money to governments. When you're richer than countries, you don't ask for favors. Countries ask you. But if you think that's crazy, the Rothschilds didn't just build wealth. They built a system that made wealth generation automatic. Here's what most people don't understand. When you're worth billions, you don't work for money. Money works for you. The family created something called generational wealth preservation. Every generation doesn't just inherit money. They inherit businesses, land, investments, and connections that keep generating wealth forever. Take their wine business as an example. In 1853, they bought Chateau Lafite, one of France's most prestigious vineyards. Today, a single bottle of their wine can sell for over $10,000. But they're not making money by selling wine. They're making money because the land itself becomes more valuable every single year. That vineyard is now worth over $100 million. Multiply that by dozens of properties worldwide. But the real secret is their investment strategy. The Rothschilds pioneered something called diversified international investing. While everyone else was putting money into one country or one industry, they spread their wealth across continents. They owned gold mines in South Africa, oil fields in Azerbaijan, railways in Austria, banks in France, real estate in London. When one investment failed, 10 others succeeded. During World War I, when most European families lost everything, the Rothschilds actually grew wealthier. Why? Because they had investments on both sides of the conflict. They literally couldn't lose. And here's something that'll blow your mind. They helped fund the Suez Canal, one of the most important waterways on Earth. Every ship that passes through generates revenue. That's the kind of investment that pays dividends for over 150 years. This brings us to the most shocking discovery of all. The real secret to the Rothschild fortune isn't just money. It's control over information and systems that nobody else can access. In the 1800s, they created the world's first international bond market. Before the Rothschilds, if a country needed money, they had to borrow from local wealthy people. The Rothschilds changed everything. They created a system where governments could borrow money from investors across multiple countries simultaneously. Suddenly, they weren't just bankers. They were the middlemen for entire nations. When Brazil needed money to build infrastructure, they went to the Rothschilds. When Russia needed to fund their military, Rothschilds. When the British Empire needed to expand, Rothschilds. They charged fees on every transaction. But here's the really insane part. They also gained political influence. When you loan money to a government, that government listens to you. The Rothschilds could influence wars, trade agreements, and national policies, all because countries owed them money. Fast forward to today, and the family's wealth operates through a web of private companies, trusts, and foundations that most people will never see. They own Rothschild & Co., one of the world's largest independent financial advisory groups. They have investments in mining companies that extract gold, copper, and diamonds across Africa and South America. They control private equity firms that buy and sell companies worth billions. According to financial estimates, the combined wealth of all Rothschild descendants could be anywhere between $5 trillion to $9 trillion. That's more than the combined wealth of the top 10 billionaires on the Forbes list. But unlike Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos, the Rothschilds don't appear on any public rich list. Why? Because their wealth is hidden inside private family trusts that don't have to report their assets. Understanding the Rothschild empire teaches us something crucial about how real wealth works. Most people think being rich means having a big salary or a nice car. But true wealth, the kind that lasts for centuries, is about owning assets that grow in value while you sleep. The Rothschilds don't chase money. They own things that generate money automatically. Land, businesses, intellectual property, and systems. This is the difference between being rich and being wealthy. A doctor might make $500,000 a year. That's rich. But if they stop working, the money stops. The Rothschilds could stop working tomorrow, and their wealth would continue growing because they own income-generating assets. This is why financial experts always say, don't work for money, make money work for you. Another lesson is the power of information. The Rothschilds won because they knew things before everyone else. In today's world, that translates to staying informed, understanding markets, and spotting opportunities before they become obvious. Whether it's learning about new technology, investing in emerging markets, or understanding economic trends, information is still the ultimate advantage. Finally, there's the power of generational thinking. Most people plan for the next paycheck or maybe retirement. The Rothschilds plan for the next 200 years. They don't just build wealth for themselves. They build systems that benefit their children, grandchildren, and great-great-grandchildren. That's why their fortune has survived revolutions, wars, economic crashes, and political upheavals.